Hello, it's me, Simon.
It's not ready yet.
Oh. Hello, it's me, Simon, and welcome back to Simon Scientist. Today I'm going to be doing stuff about fall and a bunch of other things. So, I'm going to start the session off with a joke. So, what's the best thing to put into an apple pie?
I don't know, Simon. What's the best thing to put into an apple pie?
Your teeth.
Nice.
Okay, now on to the science part of Simon the Scientist. So most of you haven't, or most of you most likely haven't heard about something called fall equinox. Fall equinox is the such thing as summer and winter solstice, which are the longest and shortest days of the year. So if you imagine the year as a circle, summer solstice is at the top and winter solstice is at the bottom, and the spring equinox and fall equinox are on the side, and they're perfectly balanced 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. So they're exactly the same. I'm gonna say another joke, because why not? What do you do to fix a jack-o'-lantern? Or what do you... Yeah, you use a pumpkin patch. Here's some facts about the fall and spring equinox. So, fall equinox is September 22nd. Is the fall equinox, and in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it's around March 20th or 21st. During the equinoxes, every location experiences 12 hours a day and 12 hours of night that I have mentioned. Now here's some things about fall. So leaves change color in fall because something called chlorophyll breaks down in the leaves due to colder temperatures and stuff, and that causes it to turn from green to orange and yellow. And the shorter days make it so that there's not as much light, which also adds to it. And so we're also going to be doing things about some weird rotting things. If you were wondering, here's the reason why things rot. This also is the same thing about the leaves changing color. It's because of the shorter days, which means less daytime, so there's less light, and plants need photosynthesis to make energy, so that's bad, and it causes it to break down. And some other things are the lack of moisture. There's a lot of bacteria, and the temperature. This is also an example of a chemical change, because if you cut an apple in half, it's still an apple, which is a physical change. But you can't turn a rotting apple back into a normal apple.
All right, you have some comments here. Maybe a big shout out to Lisa, who's laughing at your jokes.
Hello, Lisa.
And Bessie Izzy is watching.
Hi.
And Auntie Camille says, I love fall.
Me too.
Yeah, maybe the Wilson kids are watching too.
Yes. Hi, Connor Harrington, if you're watching. Some things that I noticed about fall are the leaves changing. So I bought some samples with me. Right here I have a normal, sort of dried up leaf. So I'm going to put it under the microscope so we can take a closer look. So here is the leaf. So it looks pretty normal.
Let's see if we can bring that microscope closer to this camera a little bit.
Okay. So,
a little bit closer.
So, you might be able to see this, but on the surface of it, there are some little dark green dots that you might be able to see.
What do you think those dark green dots are, Simon?
I learned about this sort of from a TV show I used to watch, The Magic School Bus, and so there are these like tiny things which I think help with photosynthesis, and they like absorb light and turn it into energy to help the growth of the plant,
Nice.
which is pretty cool.
Guess who else is watching?
No.
Iris.
Hi, Iris. On this side, it's the effects of rot and things like that show a lot more because it's a lot darker and aren't as many of those like dark spots on the leaf. So, yeah. Now I'm going to show another example. Here, this one's a bit more decayed.
Oh, there we go.
This one's a bit more decayed. This one's a bit more decayed. And as you can see, there are also the dark spots. But by the things right there, the veins of the leaf, there are like a bunch of bacteria growth. So it's harming the leaf, which is already dead.
How can you tell it's bacteria growth, Simon? What do you notice?
Because it's like turning it, like patches of it brown, which is not good.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys the brown part. Might not be able to tell.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring in another sample of a leaf, but it's a bit different than the other leaves. So, in fall, they change from green to orange, and then I think to yellow. Then it starts to turn back to brown, which is not a nice color for a leaf, if you ask me.
You might want to focus it a bit more again there.
Focus? Okay.
Good. Look at that.
Yeah. Now we can see it much clearer.
I want to know what your audience notices. If they can put in the comments, what do they notice about this leaf?
Yeah, what do you guys notice? I'm curious.
Come around. All right. So we'll wait for some comments about what people notice.
I'm gonna turn the leaf around to the other side if maybe that would help. Looks pretty much exactly the same.
Oh, this side looks even worse. So Lisa says this is a great visual. So keep it still there now. Just keep it still. Lisa said it's a great visual. Izzy said random black dots that look like fungus. Camille says it's spotty and brown. And Izzy says, Iris says it's spotty and brown. And Izzy says it looks like some parts have died.
That's accurate. So now I'm going to put in another sample. So as an experiment, he left out some apples for like a couple of hours in the sun. So here's our sample.
Well, we tried to leave them out in the sun, but what actually happened?
Well, there was a big gust of wind as we were collecting some of our other samples, and so we left it in a dish outside, and it just sort of blew into the half-emptied pool, and you have to fish it out. So.
All right, can you focus that? Lisa noticed on the leaf sample from before that there were really dark veins.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah. So that's the apple.
Yep. We also have one more apple. We are assuming that the third apple got taken away by some like chipmunk or something, because it just wasn't there. While I was checking on them, I saw the green part of the apple because we got sour apples. So there's our second apple.
Oh, cool. So what do you notice about this apple that was rotting for about a few hours.
Well, at least. So, what I have noticed is that before the apple was totally clean, sort of like a greenish white on the inside, but now it's like brownish yellow, those weird black spots that I still don't know what they are.
Well, Iris has a question. Are the spots on the apple decay or are they dirt? Can you look closely and find out? Oh, Simon's looking closely there.
Just to see if it's decay or dirt. Oh. I think it's decay on the outer layer because it wasn't brushing off.
Okay. I think maybe some of the bigger spots might be dirt as well. What do you think?
Like these big black spots?
Yeah. Oh, there's a piece of grass.
Oh, that's grass. Touch. Oh. Touch. Yeah, that's dirt. So there is clearly signs of decay, but not all of it is decay.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna show you guys something actually sort of.
Nope, not yet, not yet. You have your other apple.
Oh no. Okay. So now we have something really gross.
What is that?
It's actual rotten apple.
Where did you get such a gross rotten apple?
We got it from our backyard. There is this apple tree that's in our neighbor's yard, but it goes over into our yard. So apples sometimes fall onto our yard, and I guess they just sometimes rot as we leave them. So.
Okay, so using your fork, can you point to some different parts of the apple and explain what we're looking at here?
So right now, so far what we can see are bits of grass right here. So there's some grass. I don't know if you were able to see this, but right there's an actual seed. Right there, where the edge of the fork is.
Okay.
It's a bad seed, and then
nice one.
no pun intended.
Is that the peel of the apple? Can you refocus it?
Refocus, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's really good. Okay, so there is our bad apple seed. I mean, skin. Whatever you want to call it.
Izzy said, OMG, yucky.
100% agree.
Okay, what else did you find that's rotting? Iris says it's really, really gross.
Well, I'm just going to take that away. So, I'm just going to tell one more joke before we move on. Why are mushrooms always invited to parties?
Why are mushrooms always invited to parties?
Because they're such fun guys.
Simon,
What?
you must be a mushroom. You're a fun guy.
Yeah. Okay, for our next thing, we got some decayed / dead grass.
Alright.
Oh, I can feel the juice of the rotten apple. It's disgusting. I'll try and refocus so it looks better. Okay, there. Something that I notice is that it's not like singular blades of grass. It's like packed up clumps, as if it like rained or something, then it drowned the grass, and they got all stuck together and then dried.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
I don't know if that made sense, but it might.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll get our last sample, which is a
No, not yet.
banana leaf.
No, you have your tree bark.
Oh yeah, tree bark. So I collected something very interesting. It's this piece of tree bark. They're on a couple of our trees by the front of our house. It's like some sort of fungus, and it grows in them. So there's this yellow type of fungus, and then there's this bluish greenish fungus that sort of looks like the toad's back. So the yellow fungus is on the side, and the rest of it, aka the blue fungus, is everywhere else on the bark. I'm just wondering what you guys are seeing. Don't mind commenting about what you notice or what you think is happening. So feel free.
Maybe somebody knows what type of fungus it is.
Well, I don't. That's for sure.
I don't either. Do you want to flip it over and see what people notice?
Okay. On the other side, it sort of just looks like. No, hold up. Microscopes are difficult. Okay. So there is the other side that was actually by the tree, not on the outside.
So Izzy says the other side looks like a frog, and it was camouflaged in the, like a frog camouflaged into the bark.
I don't know if this is what you meant, but I might actually see a frog. Like on here, it's an eye, then a mouth, then a nose. No, it's almost like an alligator now.
Looks like an alligator now?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, I see an alligator. Eye, nose, mouth, spiny back.
Cool.
Alligator bark.
All right, so Simon, there's one thing that we notice a lot lately.
Like in our house?
In our house, all around, outside, what have we been noticing all over the place?
So where we live, it's fly season and there's like a ton of flies. Sometimes we leave windows open, so there are some, like, one or two in our house. So we've captured a hostage fly, which is right here, on this shiny, shiny tinfoil. So we're going to put it under a microscope and see what the dead fly is. Yeah, just got to find the fly now.
Oh, there, you just about had it. There, you got it.
Oh, it just blends in. So there's
Now, I'm going to
the
try to
dead
get
fly.
really close here. Can you try to refocus it? Because we can't really see it that well.
Is it breathing? I just saw that thing move.
There. Oh my gosh, it's still alive.
Flies are invincible.
Look at it. Look at it.
It's still alive!
Look at it. Oh my gosh.
Should we kill it again?
No.
You guys should decide.
No, we wouldn't do that. But check this out.
Still
So, Simon, this fly was in our house,
Oh!
and we got it with the fly swatter.
Still alive. Yeah?
And we thought it was dead.
Until it came back alive one time. Then we tried to kill it again, and then it came back alive another time.
This is the invincible fly of 2022.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
So what do you notice about this fly?
This is one thing I know for sure. This is going to become the next pandemic.
You know what I would like
Army
to
of the
do?
invincible flies.
I would like to put the fly on white paper so we can see it better instead of on the silver. So let's try that. Can you try to put it on white paper?
It's alive.
Yep. Try to put it where you can. So just so we can try to see it a bit better.
The flies. Like, oh my gosh, it's moving around. Oh! It's moving!
Here, I'll help you.
It's alive and well.
Here, we might have to refocus, actually. Can you refocus?
No, it's just because it's the white piece of paper.
No, it's not. Simon, I need you to refocus.
I'm just gonna use this tinfoil to test how good the focus is. That's the best focus it is.
Okay.
It's fly.
There it is. Okay. So hang on. There we go.
There's our little buddy, Mr. Invincible.
Yeah, this is Mr. Invincible. Look at that!
It's alive.
I think that's how it eats. Okay, so try to keep it still.
I'll try, because it's at an angle right now and I'm having to use my hands. I'm sort of shaky because I'm terrified of this thing taking over the world.
Yeah. So it's definitely fly season. That's definitely something that you noticed about fall.
I just had a theory, but it's probably not true.
What's your theory?
Maybe flies are invincible during fly season, so that's why it's still alive.
Maybe. I'm going to try to refocus here again.
Microscope takes a lot of refocus.
Yeah, it does. Because every little movement is amplified. Look at that. Maybe we need to have a session all about flies.
Who knows, maybe in the next couple of sessions.
Maybe. Alright, does anybody have any ideas for a name for Mr. Invincible?
Oh, maybe his name is just Mr. Invincible.
Oh, maybe.
But speaking of flies, so in my classroom there's this one fly that just likes to hang around really, and we've decided to name him Macintosh.
Macintosh.
Yes, Macintosh. Sort of like our class pet.
Alright, Camille, notice that the back end of the fly looks a little bit squished.
It is squished.
Yep.
That was one of our attempts of killing him.
Yep. Izzy said she wants to name it Gildy.
Gildy. Like the golden thing on its butt.
Yeah, the golden thing on its butt.
The golden thing.
The golden butt fly.
The golden booty.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now we are done with Mr. Golden Booty. I will put him under tinfoil. Okay, so here's just a clue for our next session. So when we were trying to kill a fly to get it, I was just toying around with the fly swatter, and you might not be able to notice because the fly swatter is really big. Like, can you see it?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so on the fly swatter, the handle is sort of curved metal, and if I spin it, you can see like it looks the exact same, sort of like a drill bit when you spin it. So I found out this when I go down, it sort of spins it.
Cool.
So that's our clue for next session.
Because you found something you're curious about.
Yes, exactly. And now for our final joke. What types of apples grow in a tree? All of them. Waka waka. Simon logging off for some weird outro thing I never planned for. Okay, bye.